Welcome to K2AUB's World. Today we're going to look at leave no trace principles as far as applied to ham radio and POTA. As you can see, leave no trace, the 7 principles are 1. Plan ahead. 2. Travel on durable surfaces. 3. Waste. Notice the W in the 3. Means dispose of waste properly. 4. Leave what you find. 5. Minimize your campfire impact. And 6. Respect wildlife. 7. Be considerate of others. All right, first, plan ahead and prepare. Let people know when you're leaving, how long you're going to be there, and where you're going to be. Because, hey, you never know with weather and all that. You just want to make sure you're protected just in case something happens. And as I just said, check weather. Check your gear before you leave. Make sure batteries are fully charged. Make sure your radio's working properly. Make sure you've got all your stuff. Check out your area. When I did my first POTA the other day, well, last month, um, I went out and scoped out that wildlife management area just to see the best spot to set up with, and basically the spot that isn't going to make a whole lot of difference of putting up an antenna, whether it be vertical or like an end-fed half wave. Creature comforts and sustenance. We are all hams, and as from what I remember with being a ham, just about every activity involves food or drink or drink. So make sure you've got at least water and something to keep you going. Because I know my first attempt at POTA, it was like 90 degrees out and I had no shade. So I only lasted about 20 minutes. But what you want to do, like I said, is check the weather before and make sure you got lots of water and something to drink, eat. All right, travel and camp on durable surfaces. That's the fingers. Always durable surfaces. Use established trails or campsites. Like the place at my first POTA I did was at a boat launch, so I had lots of area to set up in. Protect waterways by, well, it says by camping more than 200 feet away, but the reason is if you have to happen to make a latrine hole, you don't want that any closer than about 200 feet of any waterway, just to keep whatever you know is in the hole away from the water. Pick good areas to activate from. I mean, some of us are going out camping with POTA, and use established campsites. Don't try go down a trail and make your own. Avoid areas where others have started something. I mean, if there's an established campsite like here in New York State, we have our Department of Environmental Conservation has primitive campsites in some of the state forests and wildlife management areas where you can set up and it's got a campfire ring and everything else that's there for you. Keep your area as small as needed. I mean, that this is a win-win situation for us as hams because if you have a small area, it means shorter coax and more means more power that's going to get leaked off from the coax and out your antenna. Dispose of waste properly. That's number 3. The If you bring it there, take it with you when you leave. Pack it in, you pack it out. Um, the last thing we need is, and like I said, if you do have to, you know, as I say, nature calls. If you have to answer that call, make a hole 6 to 8 inches deep, 200 feet from any waterway, whether it be a creek, lake, or whatever, and make sure it's completely covered when you're done, because the last thing you want is the next POTA activator. And if it's me, I'm going to be quite upset if I accidentally step in a hole full of, nasty stuff. Um, One thing you can do is if you're only going to do a short POTA is use the bathroom facilities first. Or even if there's like an outhouse or a restroom in that area, use that first. So then that way it doesn't impact your activation at all. Number 4, leave what you find. Remember an old box camera for this one. Leave only footprints, take only pictures. Preserve the past, observe cultural and historic structures and artifacts. Do not touch them. With these, uh, if there's like if you happen to see something interesting out in the woods, and leave it there. Leave it for the next activator to find. I mean, and also, with leaving plants, if say your YL goes with you and wants to pick a bunch of flowers, don't, because sometimes those plants or flowers are food for other wildlife. Try not to introduce or transport any non native species. I know here in New York State we have a no transporting of wood from area to area due to the emerald ash borer and a few other species that they don't want going here, there, and everywhere. So please help out. If you do happen to have firewood, get it and have to have a fire, get it in that area so that, or use the stuff around you so you don't take invasive species to other areas. Don't build structures, furniture, or dig trenches. If pick an area where if it rains, it's going to drain off. A structure. I mean, if you put up a tarp, then just be careful about it. Make sure you don't leave any extra ropes and stuff like that. Minimize campfire impacts. This is more for our camping POTA activators, that if you do have a campfire, make it small, make it adequate for what your needs are. And if you have to, if you're good, even if you're a daytime um, POTA activator, if you can, use a lightweight backpacking stove or a candle lantern. There's some that are even sold at different uh, big department stores or box stores now that are fairly inexpensive, and they actually throw off quite a bit of light. I already talked about keeping your fires small. Use sticks and burn all wood or coals right to ash. Try to put out the fire and make sure you put the fire out completely. The last thing we want is our favorite POTA spot to become a forest fire. Respect wildlife. The observe wildlife from a distance. Don't follow or approach them. Let them be, and this goes along with finding a good area to activate. The last thing you want is we have brown bears around here and black bears, but the last thing you want is some animal that thinks you're food. There's an old joke that says, what is it? Nuts. The guy that gets eaten by the bear is the guy that runs the slowest. So don't be the slowest. Never feed animals. If you happen to have lunch out there and you've got leftovers from lunch, don't throw them in the forest. I mean, the animals that are out there, nature provides for them. They don't need any help. It whatever there's additives and preservatives and all sorts of nasty stuff in most food nowadays. Animals don't need that in their system, especially wildlife. Avoid wildlife during sensitive times. I mean, there's the springtime, the fall time when they're all nesting and mating and getting ready to get ready for winter, or they're raising their young. Be considerate of others. This is number 7. Respect others and protect the quality of their experience. The last thing we need is to be activating a park and having, we've got our speaker cranked up to 800 decibels and we're driving other people nuts, and then they're complaining to the park rangers or park police, whatever you have in your area. Be courteous. If other people are around, kind of, if they've got, if they're in your favorite POTA spot, you might have to just slide over an area and kind of, give them some space. Greet riders and ask which side of the trail. Well, this is for our hiking ones. The one that I can think of with hiking and POTA is our good friend KMRD Mike from Ham Radio Tube. I've seen quite a few of his videos when he's hiking through Huntsville State Park, and I'm sure he moves over if other people are coming through the area. If you have to, take a break. I mean, and camp away from the trails where you're going to be right in the way. Don't set up your POTA activation right in the middle of a trail. And this, let nature's sound prevail. Loud voices and noises. If you can, bring a pair of headphones or something, so then that way only you are listening to, unless you're doing like a two operator activation. But try to keep it down low. The other thing, other than leave no trace, I am as some of you may have saw in previous videos, I am a scouter and a radio merit badge counselor. One of the things that I've always learned as a scout is the outdoor code. As an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners, careful with fire, and considerate in the outdoors, and conservation minded. This is a big one. If you follow this outdoor code, you should have no problems activating. And this is the end of it. So I just want to say thank you to all who have subscribed, or the ones that are going to subscribe. Also, please give me a like, give me a little help with the algorithm, and that would be great. As always, please like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know your thoughts on this. I mean, if there's a way to make the video better, or your thoughts on Leave No Trace and the outdoor code. As always, this is KA2AUB saying 7-3, and have a great day.